Chapter 12. Then Job answered and said, No doubt but you are the people, and wisdom shall die with you. But I have understanding as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Yes, who knoweth not such things as these? I am as one that is a laughing stock to his neighbor, a man that called upon God, and he answered him. The just, the innocent man is a laughing stock, a contemptible brand in the thought of him that is at ease, a thing ready for them whose foot slippeth. The tents of the robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure in whatsoever God brings into their hand. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach you, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell you. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach you, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto you. Who knoweth not among all these that the hand of the Lord has wrought this? In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind? Doth not the ear try words, even as the palate tasteth its food? Is wisdom with the aged men, and understanding in the length of days? With him is wisdom and might, he hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shuts up a man, and there can be no opening. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also he sendeth them away, and they overturn the earth. With him is strength and sound wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. He leadeth the counselors away stripped, and judges maketh he fools. He looseth the bond of kings, and bindeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth priests away stripped, and overthroweth the mighty. He removeth the speech of men of trust, and taketh away the sense of the elders. He poureth contempt upon princes, and looseth the belt of the strong. He uncovereth deep things out of darkness, and bringeth out the light and shadow of death. He increases the nations, and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations, and leadeth them away. He taketh away the heart of the chiefs of the people of the land, and causes them to wander in the wilderness where there is no way. They grope in the dark without light, and he maketh them to stagger like a drunken man. All right, let's go back up, verse 1. Now we'll remember the last chapter, Zophar. He was speaking to, he is the Naamati, and he is the one, he was speaking to Job. And he was telling Job, he's got a lot of talk, but he ain't saying nothing. He's asking Job why you want to boast yourself. Ain't nobody going to say nothing, but he's going to speak, and he's going to also come against Job, and he's going to try to make Job understand that he's done something wrong, that he should be sorry for what he's done. But we'll find Job's going to maintain his integrity. And we leave off that Zophar, that little bird we can hear singing in the trees in the morning. He leaves off letting Job know that, if you would just turn to God and make all your works towards God, and then you would be in safety, and even in the darkness, it should be like a morning. Even in your suffering, it would be like the morning's coming forth, and you would have lie down, and everything would be okay if you would just turn to God. And that's where we're kind of picking it up. Job's going to answer so far. Verse 1. Then Job answered and said, verse 2, No doubt, but you art the people, and wisdom shall die with you. And Job's making it clear, no doubt, yes, these things are true. I mean, they're still not telling Job anything he don't know. The only thing Job's trying to figure out is just if he's done something wrong, not to his understanding and knowledge. And that's what he's saying. But no doubt these things are true. But you are people, and you have understanding, and you are people that have understanding, and you know these things are true. And wisdom shall die with you, this and that understanding, because there's no big secret here. 3. But I have understanding as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Yes, who knoweth not such things as these? And Job basically explains. He says, yes, it's true, but I have understanding too. You're not telling me anything I don't know. I'm not inferior to you. God give me understanding as well, yes. Who doesn't know these things? Who doesn't know these things that you're talking about? 4. I am as one that is a laughing stock to his neighbor, a man that called upon God, and he answered him. The just, the innocent man is a laughing stock. I am as one that is a laughing stock to his neighbor, and these that look upon him, they have no understanding. They look and they think that he's sinned. We'll find out, but Job hasn't sinned. Job is called on God. God has answered Job, and now people think that he's sinned because God has put him in affliction. 5. A contemptible brand in the thought of him that is at ease, a thing ready for them whose foot slips. This is the contemptible brand, and what this contemptible brand here is, if we went to King James, we would read it that he that is ready to slip with his feet is a lamp despised in the thought of him that is at ease. And this is really kind of what it is. This one who's almost in error, who's ready to error. This one who's ready to error, or his feet are getting ready to slip. He is as a lamp that is despised, or a light that comes forth with an evil understanding, in the thought of those that are at ease, or in the thought of those who think they're at ease. 6. The tents of the robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure in whatsoever God bringeth into their hand. And the tents of the robbers are these dwelling places of robbers. Robbers are thieves. Thieves are those that take things that don't belong to them, even understandings. And even they that provoke God are secure. Those that provoke God, they sin, they do these wicked things, and this is whatsoever God brings into their hand or into their works. That which they desire, we would find out, is exactly what you get. 7. But ask now the beast, and they shall teach you, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell you. Ask these now the beast of the earth, and they shall teach you. I mean, the beast ain't going to say nothing. Animals don't say nothing, but they do. Sometimes there's more said in their silence than we can. God has provided for them. They don't toil. They don't harvest like we do, and we find that God's made a way. And actually, a lot of them have us as a servant. And the fowls of the air, these fowls of the air, and they will tell you. The fowls of the birds don't speak either, but in a sense, the fowls of the air do speak. By just the witness, we can see them. And there's every manner of bird of the air. The air represents the sky, the heavens, these things that are above, and that's understanding. And these fowls, even birds, are those that flitter about in these understandings, and they'll land in one place or another, on high places. We can look at it like that. But these little birds, they flitter. Some of these are birds of prey, and they swoop down with their wings spread out, that darken it, that their prey as they come upon it. 8. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach you, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto you. Speak to the earth. Ask the earth these questions. Who created you? We'll find out. God created the earth and all the flesh that's in it. It shall teach you. He caused the dry ground to rise up. That's a place to stand in the waters. And the fishes of the sea shall declare unto you. And these fishes, the fish represent the life. These things that even the souls, these things that men cast nets for, these things that men lay lure for, they are of the sea. They shall declare these things. And the sea is all the waters, all these understanding. These are all the lives, all the souls in it. Who knoweth not, 9, among all these, that the hand of the Lord has worked this? Who knoweth not among all these? I mean, everybody knows, everything knows. The hand of the Lord has wrought this. I mean, it's the work of God. He has done this. 10, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing and the breath of all mankind. In whose hand? In God's hand. In his works is the soul. That's that life within of every living thing that breathes, and the breath of all mankind. This breath of all mankind here is this ruach. That's the spirit even, or the soul. 11. Doth not the ear try words, even as the palate tasteth its food? Does not the ear try words, or does not, we find words that are pleasant, we find words that are harsh, we find words we don't like, we find words we do like. It's just like the palate of our mouth, this tasting of our food. We discern what, and it's really very simple. We hear what we want, and we choose to ignore the rest. 12. Is wisdom with aged men and understanding in the length of days? Is wisdom, it's not limited to the old, it's not limited to the young for certain. Wisdom is based on experience. Wisdom is based on the application of knowledge and understanding. Your wisdom is the use of the law. 13. With him is wisdom and might. He hath counsel and understanding. With him, and that's God, is wisdom and might. He has wisdom and might. It's from who it came. He has the counsel and understanding. His is the counsel, and the counsel is the word to give that which comforts. We can use the word of counsel to comfort. We can use the word of counsel to instruct, to turn this way or that. And that is understanding. Understanding would be the law. That's what the law was in the beginning. Actually, that understanding, that's the mercy of God. That's a peace covenant. 14. Behold, he breaks down, and it cannot be built again. He shuts up a man, and there can be no opening. Behold, and we can look and even see these things even from the past, that God, he breaks down, and it cannot be built again. He breaks it down so that it can't be raised up. He can destroy it. He can turn it into dust. We'll find out God usually responsible for building it up in the first place. He shuts up a man. He can close up a man, close him up within, close up his understandings, lock him up inside of himself. And there can be no opening, see, because we would learn that even in the prophets. They would tell us that God, he opens the ear, God closes the ear, God causes you to have understanding, and God causes you not to have understanding based upon your desire, your free will. He told you what to do with your free will. Of course, most don't listen. 15. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. Behold, and this is something else we can look and see. He withholdeth the waters. Waters is always understanding. It's always the knowledge. Waters is something that descends. It comes from down, and they dry up. So God has the ability to hold back the waters, hold back that which descends, even understanding that. Even the Jordan, these waters that descend, God can dry them up, and we have seen him witness that when Yeshua was crossing the Jordan, and those of Israel. Now, and also, he sends them out. They overturn the earth. He also can send them forth, all these waters, these understandings, and they can overturn the earth. And what they do is, through the multitude of them, they have the ability to cause a great flood of understandings and knowledge that is a destroying flood, just like we would find in Noah. 16. With him is strength and sound wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. With God is strength and sound wisdom, because that's where it comes from. The deceived and the deceiver are his. The deceived, that's that one who has been taken advantage of. He's actually been taken in a snare, and the deceiver are his. Well, God created the deceiver from the beginning. We would find this written in Deuteronomy. God says, I made all those, not of gods, for all the other nations to worship. See, these were images. These things ain't real. They were the imaginations of men that God caused for a witness even then, saying he is God. See, the deceived and the deceiver do belong to him. 17, he leadeth counselors away stripped, and judges maketh he fools. He leadeth counselors, those that have all their understanding. They got a lot of knowledge and got a lot of wisdom. They can't accomplish nothing, though, because why? God has the ability to lead them away stripped. They think they're clothed. They put on these great robes, and they have no understanding. They stand naked before the Lord. These judges, he maketh fools. They don't have we'll find out. God has the ability to corrupt. See, they are corrupted, even in their own understandings. Most all of them are. They are exactors of gold. We will find out. Judges, God maketh fools, because, see, the judgment seat belongs to God, and they ought learn to judge like God, with mercy, compassion. He always has these things. Not for gain. 18. He looseth the bond of kings, and bindeth their loins with a girdle. He looseth the bond of kings, and bindeth their loins with a girdle. He bindeth their loins up with a girdle, is to strengthen them, give them a little bit of strength, and this to looseth the bond of the kings, because God will find out and has the ability to take the king. The kings are not immune. They are subject as well, as we have found down in the book of Kings, in Jeremiah, in Isaiah. The kings are very much and more likely subject to the judgments of God as it was commanded. They should have kept a book by their side, even that book of the law, and not allow the people to sin. 19. He leads priests away stripped, and overthroweth the mighty. Who? God does. He leads these priests away stripped, and that's those that stand before God. He takes away their coverings and their knowledge, their wisdom, their understanding. He has that ability. See, God overthrows the mighty, even the mighty, the great. God made the mighty. God built them up. 20. He removeth the speech of men of trust, and taketh away the sense of elders. God does. God removes the speech of men of trust. These ones you have faith in, these ones you say, oh, they are great, they are wonderful, they have all these kind words that do nothing. They're pleasing to the ear, but what do? They accomplish nothing. And their witness is made plain in the earth of what their words do. But God has the ability to take away, see, their words, their trust. God has a way to take away the sense of the elders. That's their understanding. See, God loves to work from the top down. 21. He pours contempt upon princes, and looses the belt of the strong. He pours the contempt. He pours the judgment. He pours the punishment even upon the princes, and those rulers, those that take up that position. And he looses the belt of the strong. That belt, that which girds up for strength. See, that which makes strong. God, that which makes strong. God has the ability to take it and loosen it, make weak. 22. He uncovers the deep things out of darkness, and bringeth out the light of the shadow of death. He, God, uncovers the deep things out of the darkness. These things that are hidden. Why? The darkness belongs to God. He makes dark, he makes light. It's God's domain. He bringeth out to the light the shadow of the death. He even brings light, understanding upon the shadow of death. What is the shadow of death? Anything that stands before God that gets in the way of his understanding. Anything that causes shade, anything that causes shadow, anything that stands between me and God is a shadow of death. 23. He increases the nations and destroys them. He enlarges the nations and leads them away. Who does? God does. He increases the nations. He builds them up and destroys them. It's his work. He does it. See, and he enlarges the nations. He grows them. He makes them wide. He wides them out. Then he leads them away. 24. He taketh away the heart of the chiefs and the people of the land, and causes them to wander in the wilderness where there is no way. He takes away, who does? God does. He takes away the understandings, the heart, the abilities within of the chiefs of the people of the land. These chiefs, starting at the top. God always does that. He starts at the top and he works his way down. He takes away their understandings, takes away the integrity of their understandings, these people even of the land, everybody, and he causes them to wander in the wilderness where there is no way. The wilderness is the place where the words drive out. See, that's the place where the words drive out. That's the place where the children of Israel found themselves. And there was no food, there was no water, except that which God give, the understanding from heaven, and this water. 25, they grope in the dark without light, and he maketh them to stagger like a drunken man. And they grope in the dark without light. They grope in the dark. In this darkness is in wickedness. There's no light there. There's no understanding there. They grope in the lack of understanding, like blind men, without light, without any knowledge or any understanding that they are blind even. He makes them to stagger like drunken men, and makes them to stagger, totter back and forth, weeble wobble, like a drunken man. Can't keep his balance, can't hardly stay on his feet, can't stay steady in his path, has no understanding, really. He has taken it away through strong drink or through an understanding that he has ingested. That's what the drunkenness is. The drunkenness of flesh is similar to the drunkenness of spirit. See, when we take of a strong drink or some form of idolatry or ignorance from men, this makes you drunken. You are staggering now. Your feet ain't steady. Your paths aren't certain. There's no understanding before you. And you're going to stagger around like a drunken man. God makes this example. Matter of fact, we can find out, written in the book of Jeremiah, he said, all will drink. And we're going to pick it up in chapter 13. Turn and return.